Hey everyone, my name is Jenny. I'm a solutions architect. Today I'm going to show you how to embed a Zoom meeting in your website using the Zoom Meeting SDK, which you can find on Zoom's GitHub repository or the Zoom app marketplace. So a common use case for this is, for example, a tutoring system where tutors join in and teach live online classes to their students. They may want the Zoom meeting to be within the tutoring system itself rather than on a separate web client. So this is a very common use case. On the GitHub page, there are instructions and good documentation here. There's even a list of samples that you can use to start you off. And today we'll actually be using one of these sample apps. But there are two common issues you may run into when trying a sample here that may not be immediately obvious how to resolve if this is your first time setting it up. So in this video, I'm going to show you step-by-step how to do it, common errors, and how and where to fix them if you see one. You can find a link for this page underneath this video. So let's get started. First, you'll want to download the Zoom Meeting SDK. You can either click download zip here to get all of the source files of the latest version, or you can clone this repository by clicking here. And the difference is when you clone the repository by copying this URL, you will get a copy of the history and you'll be a fully functional Git repo. So for this SDK, you'll have two views to choose from, the component view and client view. Component view looks like this. Basically, it provides the option to display the meeting SDK in components on your page. This allows for a more flexible design. Now, the client view looks like this. It provides the option to display the meeting SDK as a full page. This allows for a more familiar Zoom meeting experience because the client view is the same as the Zoom web client, except it lives inside your own web page. For the purpose of this demo, we'll actually be using one of these samples. We'll use the first one, Meeting SDK Web Sample. Now let's download the zip package. Okay, it's downloaded. We will extract the zip package. Now for this demo, we'll be doing the client view. So we'll work with the client view JavaScript files. So the client view JavaScript files are in the CDN subfolder. If you're working with the components view, then you'll just navigate to similar files in the components folder. So in the CDN folder, we'll find indexed. Actually, we'll go to the JavaScript folder and then find the index.js file. So this file is where the SDK key here in the SDK secret are located at. Right now, they're placeholders, so we want to fill them up properly with the value we get from our Zoom Developer Platform account. So let's navigate there. You'll want to go to marketplace.zoom.us and then click on Develop. Once you're logged in, click on Develop, Build App, and then you'll choose your app type. You want to choose SDK. So if this is your first time doing this, you should see a Create button similar to these other ones. But since I had already done this previously, I will just click View here. So there are a few different tabs. We'll go through each one. On the Information tab, you'll need to give your app an app name. So we'll just name it SDK Demo. And you'll need to put a company name. So your company name, we'll put Zoom here, and then developer contact info, your name and email address below. And download, this is where you'll normally download the SDK package, but since we've already downloaded the sample app package from Github, we're all set. App credentials, this is where you'll get an SDK key and SDK secret. And we'll need these to update our JavaScript file. So let's go back to the index.js. So again, this field and this field are what we need to update. So we'll copy the SDK key and put it here. And then we'll copy the SDK secret and put it here. Now, just note, never put your actual SDK secret in client-side code. This is just for quick prototyping. The below generated signature should be done server-side, not to expose your SDK secret in public. You can find an example in here. For demo purpose, we do it this way. Once updated, we'll save the file. And now we will start our Zoom meeting. So I've already started a Zoom meeting and copied down the Zoom meeting ID. So this is the meeting ID of our Zoom meeting. So now we will run our web page by opening our index.html file. This is going to be in the CDN folder, index.html. Our meeting is not password protected, so all we need is to fill out the meeting number. We'll also update the attendee name. We'll just say Jenny from website. Now let's join the meeting. Your file couldn't be accessed. Now don't panic, this is intentional, as I want to show you how to resolve this common error. If you get this too, the reason is you don't have to correct URL in the index.js file. There are two places where you should update your URL. So let's pull that up. Let's go to JS, go back to our indexed JavaScript file. Now we'll want to update here, join URL. We want to update this URL and make sure the full directory is there. So we need to grab users, like this whole path, except for JavaScript. So we need to grab from the beginning up to CDN because this meeting.html file is in the CDN folder. As you can see, this is the file that is trying to find meeting.html. So let's do this. And we need to replace the backward stroke with the forward. So let's do that. Okay, so that's one place to update. Let me go ahead and grab this because there's another place where we need to update this directory, which is here, join URL. So let's also add the missing part of the directory here. So once we're done, we'll save the JavaScript file. Let's copy the meeting ID again. Now let's close this out and we'll refresh this page. And let's join the meeting again. Join. Now it's successfully bringing us to the join meeting page. We're going to click join and I'm going to be asked to admit this person. So as the meeting host, I'll admit. And now you can see we have joined the meeting and we have two participants. Jenny from website and host Jenny Man. So this is now joined in our browser. So now we've successfully joined a meeting within our website. I also want to show you another common error, which is this one, joining meeting timeout invalid parameter. This error, if you get it, first you can search around in Zoom's developer forum. And if you do, you may find this post here. Joining meeting timeout invalid parameter. So this person has come across the same issue as I had earlier. And the solution is you may have used the JWT type key instead of the SDK type key. If you see that error, which was exactly my mistake earlier. As you can see from this response here, you should recreate an SDK type application, not a JWT application type. JWT is going to be removed, deprecated in 2023 and should not be used anymore to generate credentials to access the web SDK. So this developer forum is an incredible resource. So I really recommend searching in here for a solution as your first line of troubleshooting whenever you encounter issues as a Zoom developer. Now, if you go back to the Zoom marketplace, you'll see that there's JWT and SDK app types. Both will generate an API secret, an API key for you. If you get the join meeting timeout invalid parameter error, is likely you've used the JWT key and secret instead of the SDK key and secret. So that concludes our demo today on how to embed a Zoom meeting in your website using the Zoom Meeting SDK. So trying out the Zoom Meeting SDK sample app is a good next step if it's your first time doing this. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment beneath this video. One last note is the Zoom developer platform, the marketplace, is an open platform that allows any developer to build applications and integrations upon Zoom's video-first unified communications platform. You can leverage APIs, webhooks, SDKs to build custom applications and superpower your business with a powerful collaboration suite. Is an incredible resource. So feel free to dig around in here and find endless possibilities and ideas. I hope you like this video. Happy coding.